There are a lot of shady Minecraft servers out there, and thus a lot of shady Minecraft server owners, but recently I've come across one who I am utterly shocked at what he got away with. Running a Minecraft server that is a straight up crypto casino in-game, where he has plugins custom made to rig the games in real time if players place large bets and he doesn't want them to win, denying people their payouts and stealing money from them, threatening to DDoS them, SIM swap them and more, and even advertising blatant crypto scams in his server Discord. I can't say I've ever met as horrible as a server owner than this. And it seems I wasn't the only one who thought so too, because some players would manage to backdoor the server, putting a ratted plugin on it so they could rig the gambling minigames for themselves in real time, stealing money from the server owner to distribute out to players, getting the server blacklisted by Mojang, and ultimately shutting it down for good. The story they told me and the exploits they showed me, which we used on the server, are utterly one of a kind. But what was the server and what made it so harmful and shady anyways? Well, MC Roll, as it was known, was a Minecraft server crypto casino where you could deposit real money in the form of crypto, then gamble it on various gambling minigames, then withdraw it back into real money. Now, you might be thinking, isn't this the same as that other crypto Minecraft server that was set up earlier this year, of which Mojang blocked over 60 times? And yes, it is a copycat of that one, but somehow it's even worse. Let's quickly run through all the server's custom gambling minigames so you can better understand just how they were exploited. The first game they had was roulette, where you place a bet on either red, black or green, which functions as any typical roulette game does. Next, they had mines, a gambling minigame ripped straight from actual crypto casinos, where you wager an amount of money, select a number of mines or bombs that will appear, then mine blocks until you cash out, or hit a mine and lose it all. It's a test of greed. You could theoretically start a mines game with just one mine, then mine one block and cash out with a small win, but the more blocks you mine and the more mines you set the game to have, the more you'll win per block broken. And speaking of tests of greed, the server also had Crash, a gambling game mode popular in real crypto casinos, popularized by third-party CSGO skin gambling websites from back in the day, where you wager a certain amount of money then watch a multiplier go up. As the multiplier goes up, you have the ability to cash out at any time and multiply your money by whatever the multiplier is before it randomly crashes and thus you lose everything. You can either wait and pray the multiplier goes really high, which it basically never does, or you can play safe and cash out fast. Next, there was Bombs, which is a very similar game to Mines, where you wager a certain amount, then set the number of bombs with a max of 7, and open up chests until you decide to cash out, or you hit a bomb and lose it all. I'm sure you are starting to see a common trend with all these servers gambling minigames. For the most part, they are all tests of greed. We even have another similar game here called Towers, which also has bombs and functions very similarly. And you might be thinking, why? Why are all these servers games like this? And that's because these are the easiest to rig and control the outcomes of on the fly. The server had a bunch of other shady and scummy mechanics too. For example, they had a rakeback system where you would be rewarded a percentage of your gambling losses that month back for free. Pretty cool, you might be thinking, right? Free money? Well, no, you only got 1.5% of it back as a non-ranked player and had to wager a minimum of $100 a month to do so. So for example, if you gambled and lost $500 that month, you would get a whopping $7.50 back. And you couldn't even cash that out either, as the server's next scummy mechanic was the fact that you needed $20 in your balance minimum to cash out. That's if the server owner would even let you cash out at all, or falsely ban you, claiming that your profile was glitched. But we'll get into that in just a second. Like the other crypto server we talked about earlier this year, MC Roll encouraged users to wager exuberant amounts of money by giving them ranks in game they could only earn by doing so, the highest requiring you to wager 100,000 real world dollars to obtain. It was an extremely scummy Minecraft server that completely broke Minecraft's guidelines, that's for sure. But as I'm sure you are well aware of now, Mojang doesn't exactly have a good track record of blacklisting and shutting down user-breaking servers in a timely manner, and this server was already making hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in the meantime, while it was flying under the radar. So some players decided to take matters into their own hands. Be sure to subscribe if you are enjoying this video, by the way. I'm taking a bit of a risk here by making a video about such a shady server owner after all, and we are on the home stretch to 1 million subs now. It would really help me out, no pressure of course. Almost 2 months ago, a small group of players who asked to remain anonymous contacted me mentioning they had an absurdly powerful exploit on the server. Here is the story they told me. Apparently, they had convinced one of the server owner's friends to put a modified version of his custom roulette plugin onto the server. This modified version of the plugin had a backdoor that let them see what color the roulette table was going to pick to win before it landed.
Okay, so we have the roulette here. RL, choose a color. The next one's gonna be red, I take it. $1. Let's see what happens. And there it is in fact red. Wow. Just like that, huh? And the next one, let's do one more, I guess. Put it on black.
Essentially, now all they had to do was use this backdoor to see what color the roulette table would pick next, ensuring they could gamble on the right color and win every time. Pretty crazy. So that's great, they had an exploit to make infinite money and always win. Now they could destroy the server, right? Well, not quite. You see, the issue they had been facing and the other reason they contacted me was because of the server owner's insanely illegal and scummy behavior. As you are seeing now in screenshots, the owner of the server would regularly tell players who won notable amounts of money and tried to cash out that their profile was glitched and their funds were stuck in wallets causing delays, or simply straight up rejecting withdrawals because he didn't want to pay out. He would even ban players who he saw win too much or get wins that were too large that he didn't want to pay out because he suspected them of using an exploit, and these were legit bets, mind you. Here is a clip this time of him in a voice channel where he tells another player that they can withdraw, but he won't accept it anyways, likely because it's quite a bit of money.
Okay, say, let me withdraw 300 and actually do the withdrawal. I don't accept it, but no, stupid.
Here is a clip where he even banned someone live because he suspected him of cheating just because he won some money, even going as far as to remove the player tips and tipping his way give money to other players. Here are some other players complaining about having to wait quite some time for withdrawals too. And the players who do complain about being banned or blacklisted, he threatens to DDoS for as much as 8 weeks straight, even threatening others to burn their house down or neutralize people who he thinks are exploiting. In general, he just seems like the exact sort of person you'd expect to run a Minecraft crypto casino, someone with no morals whatsoever. And on the topic of illegal behavior, he's also promoted some seemingly dodgy crypto websites and services, which isn't really surprising. But here's the biggest thing the team who contacted me discovered. The team also got the owner's friend to send them copies of the server's plugins and configs so they could investigate them, and they found that the server had plugins allowing the server owner to completely rig its many gambling minigames live on the fly at a whim. So they set up an offline mode server with the plugins so they could show me how it works. Essentially, the server's plugins had hard-coded features whereby provided you were logged in as the server owner and his username, which is why we set up an offline mode server so I could log in as his username to demonstrate, you would have access to a variety of additional commands that let you rig everything completely. This is some of the scummiest behavior I've ever seen on any Minecraft server ever. Take a watch.
Let's do roulette first, I guess. Okay, so I can do set color and then red. Okay, so now it'll be red. Okay, so roll the roulette. And then you bet 100 on it. Okay, cool. And it should land on red as I've set it to red. Yep. Okay. Now bet again. I'm gonna do it like mid-roll. I'm gonna set it to green. There we go, set it to green. And there you go, it lands on green. Completely rigged, wow. Yeah, I'll do mines. Okay, so I can force mine you. Just play it as normal, so you're gonna mining, and then I can go force mine, and then your username. And then I mine. And boom, you insta lose. Okay, so there's one mine, I don't want you to win anymore, so it's like next one, and then boom, you lose instantly. So I can just control when you lose, whenever I want you to lose, basically. Alright, what's next? Oh, bombs, yes, bombs. So open one, I'm gonna hit the force bomb, the next one's gonna be a bomb. Yep, instantly lose. I'm gonna force bomb you right away, so the first one you hit will lose. Instantly lose, there you go. And then the final one is crash. I've decided that you don't get any money at all, so I'm gonna crash it instantly as soon as it hits. Boom, crashed it. There we go. Completely rigged.
This is the reason why the owner has primarily set up his server with the games it does have, which are tests of greed, because they are super easy to rig on the fly. So what he can do is sit on the server and secretly watch players play, causing them to lose whenever he wants. Here is a video the team sent me where one of them places a $50 bet on red, and while watching the backdoored plugins console where they can see the colors that the roulette table is going to pick, the owner changed it to land on black. Basically, he saw a large bet on red and instantly changed the bet to be black whilst pretending to be AFK. And considering the owner's shady behavior we've covered throughout this video thus far, God knows how many bets he has been rigging whilst online the server, making players lose completely unfairly. This is a server where people were wagering and gambling hundreds of dollars, mind you, and their money is being straight up stolen from them in multiple ways, as even if they do somehow win and make money whilst the server owner is offline sleeping and unable to rig their gambles, he wouldn't let them withdraw and in some cases would straight up ban them from the server anyways. I reported the server a while back, and it did eventually get blacklisted, whether that be because of me or someone else. But the server just came back under an alternate IP and kept doing the exact same thing. So the team hopped on the server under fresh alt accounts and decided to use the exploit they had to steal money and distribute it around. Now, I didn't participate in this myself, as stealing real money using an exploit that stems from a backdoored plugin does fall into an illegal territory, but some of the team sent me some footage of them stealing money live, which we can go through. The first thing they did this time around is, rather than trying to withdraw money themselves, to which the server owner would eventually get fed up of paying them out and ban them, they instead would gamble quite significant amounts, like $100, and then instantly give the winnings to other players who played legit and told them to withdraw. They did this with multiple individuals, tipping them all hundreds of dollars, of which confused these players quite a bit. Eventually, they even upped their bets to $200, making $400 at a time and paying out players who were none the wiser. Soon enough, everybody on the server had hundreds of dollars, and the team told the players to also get their friends online so they could give them money too. As soon as new players joined the server, they would instantly be tipped $100. Then Green finally came around, and the team won $2,800, likely the biggest win the server had ever seen, and began tipping each player online $500, telling them to withdraw once more. Players who were given the money also began using it to gamble themselves, as well as buy the server's VIP rank. The players eventually caught on that something was afoot, and began betting the money they were given on the same colors as the team did, noticing that they always seemed to be winning somehow. This was pretty crazy to see when the next green came around and everyone won $3,500 each. Of course, $1,000 tips were in order after this, and soon enough, majority of the server had thousands of real-world dollars in their balance just sitting there. The players even began spam tipping one another because they also had so much money now. It was pretty funny to see. Almost 30 minutes in, and the server's leaderboards had been inflated higher than they'd ever been before. You see, even if the players didn't withdraw, if the owner didn't hop on now and stop things, he'd have no way to tell who had legit money and who didn't, since so many people were paying one another and gambling money around. As soon as a new player logged in, they would instantly be tipped hundreds, if not thousands, and told to buy VIP rank and immediately withdraw. It was pretty obvious by this point that something was up, especially when 4 players are betting a combined total of $1,000 all on black at the same time. Furthermore, by this point, there were now players with 5 figures in their balance, with multiple having wagered higher than that, and well into the thousands too. Everyone was betting, just following along and doing the exact same bet amounts on the exact same colors. They would even make fun of the owner, who was so confident in the server's fraud detection, yet here they were giving out thousands and nothing was happening. By this point, a lot more people had logged on the server, likely hearing about what had been going on, to which they were all paid thousands of dollars and told to withdraw. The final green roll of the exploit was a big one, as 6 people all bet $250, winning $3,500 each, stealing $21,000 all up combined from the server. After an hour of exploiting and stealing money, the results looked like this. Every player online the server had thousands, if not tens of thousands, and each of these players had wagered around $10,000 if not more each, as well as purchased VIP ranks. And then the group was banned, and that was that. A few days after the exploit, the server would shut down permanently, with the owner stating in the Discord that they were shutting down due to exploits. It seemed that despite the owner likely not letting anybody withdraw their exploited money, too many people had too much stolen money, and the damage was done beyond repair. The owner instead would try to set up a gambling website, but by this point most support for him was gone, and the website sees very little to any activity. Which now concludes the story of the shadiest Minecraft server owner I've ever seen, and the group who exploited his server, forcing it to shut down. Be sure to subscribe if you enjoyed this video and want to see more similar. We are getting so close to 1 million subs. Thank you all so much for watching.